Well, I just got back from watching the new Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. And before I really get into that, I would just like to bring up one tiny little factoid. The price of admission to get in to see this movie by myself, $9.25. And that was not 3D. 3D would have tacked on at least $2-3 extra. So yeah, $9.25 to see a movie. And that did not include my 54 fluid ounces of Coke Zero that I bought. That was $6. So grand total to go see a movie by yourself nowadays, $15. If I bought popcorn, it would have been $20. So to the movie theaters out there, fuck you. Because, and it's funny because I had heard something on the radio that some movie theater somewhere was going to remove a bunch of their seats and replace them with lazy boys, like recliners. So less seating, but hey, you'll at least be able to relax in comfort as you watch your $15 fucking movie. And they think that's going to get people to go to the movies anymore. No, you want to know how you go to the movies anymore? Lower the fucking prices! I'm done with my tangent. And it looks like Nala wants back in. That's just wonderful. Why is it every time I set up, she wants back in? Well, give me a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. So, where was I? Oh, yeah, bitching about the movie theater prices, but I'm done with that. Okay, so Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Just as I'm filming this, it just came out today or last night. In fact, I think some theaters even showed Rise of the Planet of the Apes before that. And I have to say the titles are a little misleading because this movie kind of felt like it was the Rise of the Planet of the Apes. The last movie was kind of the Dawn, because Dawn is beginning and Rise is... But what did I think of this movie? I never wanted to fling my own poo at a movie screen before, but this movie definitely did it for me. I'm totally kidding. This was one of the movies that I was so psyched to see, and I am proud to say, with all sincerity, this movie did not disappoint me at all. I love this movie. Because I don't want to get heavy into spoilers, but I probably will. So, if you want a spoiler-free review, this is it. If you liked The Rise of the Planet of the Apes, go see this one. There's my movie review. For those of you that actually care a little bit more in depth, like I said, I'm not going to go heavy into spoilers. I might do a few, so just be warned. So, I guess the first thing I should mention is the effects for this movie blew my mind. And it really goes to the credit of Andy Serkis, who plays Caesar in his mocap suit, the motion capture suit. And I think again, as I'm filming this, he kind of came under fire for telling people that people just don't understand the kind of work that he does, that, you know, the motion capturing of all this thing and how much work it really goes into it. It's not a computer creating this image, you know, post-production. This is Andy Serkis, this is all the other actors in the mocap suits in front of you, face to face, acting out what you are going to see in the finished product. And I love that. Because for starters, it's not an actor staring into a void trying to pretend something is there. Really, the only way I can describe it is Transformers. When you go and see a Transformers movie, you know that they're not real. You know that the Autobots and the Decepticons are not really there. With these movies, Rise and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, you lose focus. You lose your knowledge in the fact that these are not really apes talking and moving around, but just the way the motion capture actors do it, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal work. And honestly, if Andy Serkis does not receive some type of an award for his acting in this movie, there is a travesty at hand. And he even got top billing, too. That's kind of cool. But, I digress. Hold on here. My charger got unplugged. There we go. I think. Yeah, we're good. So, what to say about this movie? Well, as you might know, it begins 10 years after Rise of the Planet of the Apes. So, if you stayed behind for the post-credit scene, you saw the airline pilot that was infected. He travels across the country, infects people because the virus is now airborne, and it kills off the human race. So, the very first scenes that we see are the news feed blips all over the world, like how the virus has killed off most of humanity. I think they even said like 1 in 500 people will survive this, and it just shows the entire planet being infected and going to war with each other over resources, food, what have you. And then the next 25 to 30 minutes involves nothing but the apes in the form of Caesar and his group, because, you know, for the past 10 years, Nala's going crazy. For the past 10 years, Nala, calm down. Calm down. You're ruining my video, dear. You have to, yeah, calm down. Come up here. Get up here. Let me try this again. For the past 10 years, humanity has been fighting over the scraps of each other. So, and the apes have evolved into this community because they live by the golden rule of Caesar. Ape does not kill ape. So, again, it's really kind of a parallel of the humans and the apes, because in Caesar's mind, all apes are equal. There's no prejudice among them. Whereas in the human world, like, race, creed, color, religion, whatever, dictates who you are. It's sad, but it's true. So, you have Caesar with his community, and they're tight-knit. They work as one. So, for the first 20 minutes, we don't even see humans. And even Caesar asks Maurice, the orangutan from the first movie, he even said, like, you know, they'd use sign language most of the time, and then they start actually speaking. But Caesar asks them, like, I wonder if there's any humans left. And Maurice says, well, it's been 10 years. They probably all died out. And Caesar's like, yeah, they probably did. But this movie really likes to explore the fact that Caesar, he's kind of a reluctant leader who was kind of thrown into the position due to the fact that he was more intelligent than the others. But in this movie in particular, he's now dealing with this. He has to deal with this community of apes. He's a father. He has an older son. He just has a newborn as soon as the movie begins. He's trying to do everything he can to just keep the peace. And it isn't until they run into a group of humans that the peace is shattered, because now all of a sudden they know there's humans there. And Caesar, for his part at least, he tells them to leave. You know, he just tells them, go away. We don't want you here. Just go. And he even says that. He's like, go! And They're like, oh my god, an ape can talk, holy shit. And that's where the movie really picks up, because they don't really mention this a lot in the trailer, but the humans, the only reason they are in ape territory is because they are trying to power up a hydroelectric dam, which will provide power and electricity to the remnants of San Francisco, because they're starting to run out of power, they're starting to run out of fuel and resources. They need this dam in order to sustain their colony. And really, you would think that the humans are kind of one-dimensional, that we don't really care about them. Again, going back to Transformers, we don't give a shit about the humans in Transformers. We just want to see the Transformers. Planet of the Apes is different. Well, not, you know what I mean. It's, we need the humans at least to have a bit of clarity with the apes. So there was never a moment where we were watching the humans and I said, okay, I want to go see what the apes are doing. Not like Transformers. That's pretty much what I mean. And so we meet Malcolm is his name, and he's going to play the Gandhi of the movie, because of course they couldn't get James Franco, because James Franco supposedly died during all of the infection. So there's nobody left from the first movie, because they're all dead. And of course, you know, in order to get this dam up and running, they have to go into ape territory. So then we're introduced to Gary Oldman's character, who the trailer would want us to believe that he's this violence-craving maniac who will run over anybody who gets in his way. And to be honest, he doesn't come off like that. He's a driven guy. He's lost his family to this virus. And that's another thing. These humans are just dead set on believing that the apes created this virus, or it's because of them that they are all dead. In fact, one of them even says that, you know, we came in contact with these things, we're probably infected now. And the doctor girl, Carrie Russell, she says it was created in a lab. These apes were basically tortured and mutilated for this virus to take effect, and it killed off everybody. And she even says that. She goes, we can't be mad at the apes for this virus, because they didn't create it. And the one guy looks at her like, well, who the hell am I supposed to be pissed off at? And there's your setup. The humans are pissed at the apes for, they basically believe that they've created this. And all of their pain and woe, they can't accept the fact that one of their own created this virus with good intentions, mind you, because the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And he ended up destroying the world. So. But really, it heats up. The tension begins with Caesar and one of his lieutenants, Koba, who, if you watch the first movie, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, you will know he's the one that was all scarred up. And he's really the one that wants to go to war. He does not trust the humans for anything. And he sees Caesar as weak-minded. Like, you give too much sympathy to these humans. They must be wiped out. And Caesar's like, no, we cannot, because how many apes will die in this war that is coming? And that's where things really kind of pick up. And the movie really takes on a life of its own, because on the one side you have Caesar, who is dead set on peace. He wants peace, but he's just not sure. Like, he's only met a few good humans in his life. In fact, there's only been 3 humans he's ever met in his life that were actually considered decent people. That was James Franco's character, John Lithgow's character, his father, and I forget the girl's name from the first movie, but they were really the only 3 decent humans he's ever met. All the other ones have just been sadistic assholes. But again, I don't really want to get into too many spoilers here, but some of the better parts of the movie. I got kind of a chuckle when I saw an ape on horseback dual wielding assault rifles. Trust me, that there was the highlight of the movie. Like, if you told me that this movie had an ape riding on a horse, dual wielding assault rifles, I would have went and seen it. Even if I didn't know anything about Planet of the Apes, I still would have went and saw that shit. Like I said, I'm actually glad that the human characters, weren't just these douchebags who wanted just to wipe out. There was some of that, but there was also the fear, and that's what it was. The apes they came to their colony the first time, and everybody freaked the fuck out because they're like, what the hell are these things doing here? What do they want? And it was basically Caesar telling them, look, we're over here, you're over here, we will not commingle at all, leave us alone. And to Caesar's credit, he at least lets them try to get this dam up and running. And there are moments where he feels that his trust has been betrayed because one of them sneaks a gun to the dam, and Caesar was very specific, like, no weapons at all will be allowed in our territory. And sure enough, as soon as one guy pulls a gun, Caesar gets pissed. He's like, you know what? Just get out. Like, you have abused my trust for too long. Get the fuck out. So, what else could I say about this movie? It's 2 hours and 30 minutes long, but really it's not that bad. It's a fast 2 hours and 30 minutes, let's say that. But oh, I forgot to mention the trailers. The trailers, I was fully expecting summer blockbuster time to come out, but I guess that already happened. But some of the movies the movie trailers, I've noticed this too. There is a lot, and I repeat, a lot of movie trailers nowadays. I think even somebody started laughing around the 8th trailer. Like, really? Like, we're really having this many movie trailers? I remember there was only like 2 or 3. But the first movie that they showed the trailer of was called A Most Wanted Man. And I believe this is Philip Seymour Hoffman's last movie. Didn't really get too much of a gist of it. I guess he is this kind of a shadow broker type guy where it was really, I wasn't really paying attention to it honestly myself, but I guess they're trying to stop terrorism or something like that. I don't know. The next one was The November Man, which I think that was the one with Pierce Brosnan in it. It was kind of this futuristic assassin type deal where it's basically like an assassin movie is the best way I can describe it. It looked okay. The Maze Runner looked really, really cool. These people, or at least this younger kid wakes up and they find out that all these people that are waking up, they're in the middle of this maze, and every so often the maze opens up and they try and go through it and try and escape, and nobody ever has, of course. And we all know that the person in there, apparently it was based on a book. I've never read them or haven't even heard of them, but it looked interesting. The annual Denzel Washington movie is coming out called The Equalizer. Looks really, really good. Apparently he plays like this this home improvement store worker, like Lowe's, Home Depot type thing. One of the I guess the best way to describe it is the teller in this thing gets held up by a criminal. They say, give me your money or whatever. And it's like, give me that ring too. And she's like, I can't. This is my grandmother's ring. And Denzel Washington standing there, he takes the ring off her like, it's not worth dying for. Here, take it. And then it shows him picking up a sledgehammer. I guess he plays a vigilante at night. So it looked that looked really interesting. I probably won't go see it in the movie theaters. Not for $9 anyway, but I'll wait for it to come out on DVD. The next one was The Judge. Robert Downey Jr. was in this. This looked kind of like a drama, and it actually looked really intriguing. It stars Robert Downey Jr. and Robert Duvall, who they play father and son. And Robert Downey Jr.'s character goes back home to attend the funeral of his mother, and it turns out that maybe his father ended up killing her. And he plays a lawyer, by the way. Robert Duvall plays a judge. Robert Downey Jr. plays a lawyer, and he ends up having to defend his father, and they don't like each other very much. It looks really cool. Of course, they showed the teaser for Hunger Games Mockingjay, which, if you do like Hunger Games, it looks okay. I like the Hunger Game movies. They can be a little less predictable, but it's no big deal. Then they showed the preview for Exodus, Man versus Gods, or something like that, or Gods versus Kings. I forget what the tagline is, but I don't know what the big deal is about these biblical epics that are suddenly coming out, like Noah's Ark they just had, and now they're doing Exodus with Moses and the Pharaoh. It looked cool, and Christian Bale, I guess, plays Moses, which take that for what it's worth. Then they had Unbroken, which I guess was based on a true story about this Olympian who joins World War II and gets captured and ends up in a Japanese prison camp. Yeah, like I said, I was expecting more blockbuster. I was expecting at least a Guardians of the Galaxy trailer, because this is kind of the audience that would attract a comic book, but I didn't see it. They did show kind of a little bit of a clip of it. Like the movie theaters nowadays tell you this movie should not be seen on a TV. It should be seen on the big screen. And not for $9.25 it's not. I'm sorry, I can't get over that. But it looks okay. Guardians of the Galaxy, I am curious about. I probably will go see it. If anything, just to, satisfy my curiosity. So, again, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. If you liked Rise, watch it. It's really, really good. Right now, so far, my favorite movie this year. And I've only seen one movie this year. Scratch that. I did see Legend of Hercules on DVD. And I thought that was okay. And now I'm starting to see previews for The Rock's version of Hercules. So it's totally different. This one's going to redeem itself. So. This is just kind of a quick little vlog about the movie. I'm not, like I said, I don't like giving away too much. I don't like giving away spoilers, and those are the worst kind of people, in my opinion. The ones that will sit there and tell you every single detail about the movie, and then they will finally turn around and say, "Yeah, you should really go see it." Why should I, dude? You just gave me the Cliff Notes. I don't need to watch it now. So, yeah. And there was no post-credit scene in this movie, and they kind of screw with your head, because they kept the lights down low, and that usually means that there's going to be something coming at the end of it, so you better stay and watch it. And they sequel baited me, because as soon as the rolling credits started, the lights came back on. I'm like, you bastards. But this will probably have a sequel to it. It ended in a way that it could have a sequel. I would assume the next movie, if they do make one, would revolve around the. I don't know if they should go back to doing the full war. Well, alright, I'll just tell you. Big spoiler alert. The humans in this movie make contact with a military group in the north. And at the end of the movie, Malcolm, the good human, he tells Caesar, look, there is an army coming. They've got tanks, they've got machine guns, rocket launchers, what have you. They will kill each and every one of you. You have to run. And Caesar finally stands his ground and says, we can't run. Okay, we started this war. It wasn't my choice, but it started, and now we have to finish it. So it ends with Caesar reclaiming his throne, and I would assume I don't want to see as much as I hate to say it, I don't want to see the war between the humans and the apes anymore, because that's already done. We already know what happens. If this movie is considered a reboot / prequel to the original, we already know what happens. And I would actually like to see them, I know this is going to give me a lot of heat, but I would actually see them like to redo the original. A little bit. I'd like to see maybe a little bit. Now, you know what? Fine. No, just keep the original. Honestly, if you haven't seen the original Planet of the Apes movies, what the hell are you waiting for? Those are some of the most unique, inventive, and entertaining movies you will ever see. And I'm not talking about the Tim Burton movie. Fuck that. That movie sucked. I don't care if Marky Mark was in it. That movie sucked. And they kind of drew some parallels from that movie to this movie. But Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes with Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, because Koba, the ape that wants war, is so much like General Thade from Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes. He's nothing but war-torn, warmongering. But at the same time, you can see Koba's side of things. And that's one of the things I like about the movie. You are shown every single side. It's never a one-sided viewpoint. Caesar wants peace because he wants to keep his people safe. Koba, on the other hand, his entire existence has been inside of a cage, being mutilated, tortured, experimented on. In fact, Caesar even says that. He says, all Koba has ever seen from humans are their darker side. I've seen the good side of humanity, and I know that they are good people. Some of them are really good people. Koba just needs to chill the fuck out. And that leads into the major arc of the story, which, again, I'm not going to tell you about. But, yeah, that was my first movie I saw of 2014, in theaters anyway, and oh my god. I want to go see The Purge, but I think I'll probably wait until DVD comes out with that. At least with DVD, you only have to wait 3 months, if that. I think it'll probably be even out in a month and a half. But then you got The Hobbit. But then again, Desolation of Smog didn't wait until an entire year. The original Lord of the Rings waited a year before they were out on DVD, and that sucked. But anyway, that was my short little, well, not short, but my viewpoint of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I definitely recommend it. Very, very good movie. Hands down, as of now, best movie of 2014 for me. Didn't see Transformers, probably not going to. I'll wait for it to come out on DVD. So, yeah, that's all I got. So, thanks for watching. Go see that movie. Go see it at a drive-in. If you have capability of a drive-in, like I do, go see it there. You'll only pay half the price that I did. And you'll be able to at least take your own food. So, and now the cats are fighting. So, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you when I see you.